This is your midday update from Ohio State football camp. We had another morning of offensive linemen and defensive linemen. Not as many big names this morning. We've got some stuff coming in the afternoon with a lot of the names we talked about this morning are actually working out this afternoon. So we'll get to that. There's a very exciting coming up next section at the end of the show. But Mark, let's start with the morning. Who'd you see that was of interest?
I really like Joshua Miller. He's a 2023 offensive lineman out of Virginia. Starting to get some offers. I think from Florida State recently, so he's starting to get some pretty good offers. Worked at guard, center, tackle. Did well at all three. Really strong kid with good feet. No word yet on an offer. It wouldn't shock me, especially just to kind of get in there early. I don't think he's going to commit today or anything like that. So wouldn't totally shock me, but I thought he was clearly the best guy this morning. It was kind of a light group. We got some offensive and defensive linemen that are actually working out this afternoon with the coaching staff. So that kind of took away, I guess, from the depth of prospects this morning.
Yeah, and so we can go through some of those guys. If you're wondering where Bill Green is, he's inside right now watching someone working out. So he's keeping an eye on things inside. But Chase Basantes, he's going to be working out a little bit later. Offensive line prospect. We've talked about him a couple times. The quick synopsis of him, where he might fit.
Yeah, definitely. He's a top 50 national kid. Rutgers, Alabama, a lot of national schools after him. Ohio State's going to be in the mix in this one, and I know kind of the boy who cried wolf here, but he is expected to work out this afternoon. I know we had him on the list for yesterday. He got in yesterday, didn't work out. Then we had him on the list for this morning, and then he's going to do it. I think probably this morning was because there's some official visitors on campus right now that Greg Sajuara is probably focused on here. So that'll be an afternoon deal today.
Yeah, and we didn't see Larry Johnson out this morning either, which again is probably reflective of official visitors on campus and people that are getting focused on it. Yes, exactly. Yes,
a certain player might be visiting soon.
Yeah, there is a player of note visiting this weekend. We'll talk about him on Friday's morning scoop show. But next guy I wanted to talk about, 5-star. This is again a guy we've talked about quite a bit. He was here actually yesterday, didn't work out, but Sonny Styles, 5-star defensive player. He's working out, you think, linebackers this afternoon probably?
So he told me yesterday that he kind of did a little bit of both the first time, but it was probably more geared towards defensive back, and he thinks it might be the flip of that this time, where he might do a little bit of both, but it might be more towards maybe a slant toward linebacker today. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
He's something.
Yeah, he's someone who you could see him playing safety. You could see him playing linebacker. You could even see him rushing off the edge at the college level. It's just kind of like, yeah, he's a really good football player. We'll figure out what to do with him later. That seems like basically that's where that is. The subtext there, of course, is he was at Notre Dame last weekend. There was some, kind of scuttlebutt like, hey, Notre Dame maybe kind of jumping into the driver's seat here. If he's at Ohio State twice in 2 days, it's probably not completely a done deal to Notre Dame by any means.
No, I still feel pretty good about Ohio State. He's got, he's got a brother at Notre Dame, and, we're going to be talking about that for a while because I'm sure he's going to be going up there in the fall, but I don't think he's going to be up there every weekend. I think we're going to see him finding his way to other places. Obviously, he'll be at Ohio State at times, but I think he's going to take a look at, the Alabamas of the world a little bit and give himself a good look at some of these schools that are recruiting him, because he is one of the highest recruited players in the country. So, but I like where the Buckeyes are. I think they're going to end up getting him.
So those are two guys we've talked about quite a bit before. Now two guys we haven't talked about all that much. One we brought up this morning, Mateo Uingalele. It is the younger brother of Clemson quarterback DJ Uingalele. His dad, Big Dave, is a force in recruiting, a well-known in recruiting circles.
Most interesting man in the world.
Maybe the most interesting man in the world. Yeah, he is. There aren't that many recruit parents that are like almost as recognizable as their players. He is one. Both father and son should be here this afternoon. Where does Mateo fit for the Buckeyes? Where are they envisioning him potentially playing, and where do things stand with his recruitment?
So Mateo is here. We saw him walking around. Certainly looks the part. I asked someone here this morning, I said, is he a D end? Is he an offensive guy? I know initially people were maybe saying tight end for him. It was very emphatic to me that he's a defensive end, defensive lineman, and he sure looked the part walking around, and he'll work out with Larry Johnson. That'll kind of be like a one-on-one deal, I think, this afternoon. So that'll be interesting. Where things stand recruiting-wise, you're going to have to be leery of Clemson here. That's going to be the school I think everyone's going to try and knock off. But you've got him on campus. Mm-hmm. You've got him here. It's an unofficial visit. You can get the official later if you do a good job here today and during this visit. And so that's all you can ask for right now, and we'll see where things go. And there's been a lot of guys over the years that once they've had a chance to work with Larry Johnson for an hour or two, they really gravitate towards Ohio State. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like we say this every time we do one of these midday update shows, but like every time you're around Larry Johnson, it's like, I want to hang out with Larry Johnson more. Like, he's just very nice, very grandfatherly, but like really knows his stuff. Like, really knows his stuff maybe more than just about anyone else in this feels like a Buckeye Weekly episode. We got the sirens going off in the background. That's good. Happy noon on Wednesday, everybody.
Where's Gerd?
Yeah, where is Gerd? Always a good question.
He's probably behind the side. He's probably pushing the button.
Well, we are dropping this episode as a bonus episode in the Buckeye Weekly feed, so there we go. It is officially a Buckeye Weekly episode. We have the sirens going off. Last guy I wanted to talk to you about, A.J. Harris, 5-star corner. I mean, this was a little bit of a surprise that he showed up today, wasn't it?
Well, we knew he might, and it was just kind of one of those things of will he? But he is here. I think he's going to camp this afternoon, so we're going to be interested to watch that. It's basically it's the 4 top programs in the country pretty much at this point are his top 4. I mean, it's Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama. Those are the 4 schools most heavily involved with A.J. Harris right now. There's been reason for some optimism on Ohio State's end in the past. I am going to kind of need to see it to believe it on a kid from the state of Alabama. That's just that's been a really tough place to crack for Ohio State. But he's here. Again, we'll say what we just said on Mateo. He's here.
Yeah.
You've got every opportunity in the world to impress him. And if he works out, I think that's even more telling because he's not just here for a photo shoot.
Yeah.
So, let's see what happens.
Yeah, kind of have
some fun with it.
Have a puncher's chance. Yeah, exactly. And Alabama, Ohio State. I did last time Ohio State recruited a player from a state, a scholarship player. The last time Ohio State got a kid from Alabama was 1981. It was Dante Wheat. But that was I remember that name because it's not clear whether Dante Wheat ever actually showed up at Ohio State. Von Brodnax, who was a fullback on the one of those on the team, messaged me and said, "Who?" And so he was in the media guide, but he may not have actually ever existed as an Ohio State player, in which case Ohio State has never had a scholarship football player from the state of Alabama. So you'll have to take that up with the Ohio State sports information staff from the early 80s. Anything else today that you're particularly interested in, or news, notes? We did a lot of chatting this morning with various people. I mean, anything else that was kind of note this morning, or that you're really looking forward to this afternoon?
Well, there's already a buzz around here about the JT Tuimoloau visit that's coming up.
Yeah.
I think everyone is preparing for it, has been preparing for it, and there's already an excitement that he's going to be here. The visit will start Friday morning. I think he's getting in Thursday evening. So that is actually, even just walking around the camp here, it's like JT Tuimoloau week, So that's kind of a rare thing that you don't really see very often, is that level of excitement. So there's that. There's some guys worth watching this afternoon. We talked about Jaden Yates, linebacker, Hannah Lincoln in 23. I'm curious to watch him, especially if he's going to be working out maybe in the same group as Sonny Styles. I mean, that's always good when you get guys matched up together like that. There's some other guys. Dakota Patterson out of Kentucky, a 2023 kid. I've been told he's kind of slimmed down a little bit. Is he a receiver? Is he a tight end? Is he a linebacker? He's working out with the receivers today. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch. I know Ohio State's interested in him. They haven't offered him yet. See how today goes. So that could be something to watch this afternoon.
Yeah, the JT Tuimoloau thing is extremely, extremely true. Like, it sounds exaggerated. Like, no, there is palpable excitement around here. I mean, this is the number 1 player in the class of 2021. And it's not like there's this real delayed gratification where you sign him and then you got to wait 6 months or a year. Like, if he commits and he signs, he's here in a month.
Could be
less than a month.
Be here next week if he wants to. Yeah.
So that'll be a real interesting one to watch. We'll have a bunch of coverage of that all weekend at BuckeyeScoop.com. Might be a good time to become a member of BuckeyeScoop.com. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. That'll be a fun story to watch. We will also have a bunch more coverage from camp this afternoon on our Ask the Insiders board. A lot of interesting players to watch there. So sign up to become a member today at BuckeyeScoop.com. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will be back later on this afternoon with some more updates.